everyone, and welcome back. Today is Tuesday, which means we will be reading not one, but two books. Our first book is going to be Barack Obama's Of the Icing, and our second book is going to be, of course, our Super Fudge, which if you have not been keeping up with us reading that at the end of every video, go back and start it. That way you got the whole scoop of what's going on. So, before I read our book, let's talk about our riddle. What's always in front of you, but you can never see it? This one's a stumper. I'll let you guys think of it, and I'll check back in at the end of our video to see if anybody's figured it out. So, let's go read our book. Please join me in reading Barack Obama's Of the Icing, a book he wrote for his two daughters. Have I told you lately how wonderful you are? How the sound of your feet running from afar brings dancing rhythms to my day? How you laugh and sunshine spills into the room? Have I told you that you are creative? A woman named Georgia O'Keeffe moved to the desert and painted petals, bone, and bark. She helped us see big beauty in what is small, the hardness of stone and the softness of feather. Have I told you that you are smart? That you braid great ideas with imagination? A man named Albert Einstein turned pictures in his mind into great advances in science, changing the world with energy and light. Have I told you that you are brave? A man named Jackie Robinson played baseball and showed us all how to turn fear to respect and respect to love. He swung his bat with the grace and strength of a lion and gave brave dreams to other dreamers. Have I told you that you are a healer? Sitting Bull was a Sioux medicine man who healed broken hearts and broken promises. It's fine that we are different, he said, for peace is not necessary for eagles to be crows. Though he was put in prison, his spirit soared free on the plains, and his wisdom touched the generations. Have I told you that you have your own song? A woman named Billie Holiday wore a gardenia in her hair and sang beautiful blues to the world. Her voice, full of sadness and joy, made people feel deeply and add their melodies to the chorus. Have I told you that you are strong? A woman named Helen Keller fought her way through long, silent darkness. Though she could not see or hear, she taught us how to look at and listen to each other. Never waiting for life to get easier, she gave others courage to face their challenges. Have I told you how important it is to honor other sacrifices? A woman named Maya Lin designed the Vietnam Veterans Memorial to remember those who gave their lives in the war, and the Civil Rights Memorial to thank the many who fought for equality. Public spaces should be filled with art, she thought, so that we can walk amidst it, recalling the past and inspired to fix the future. Have I told you that you are kind? A woman named Jane Addams fed the poor and helped them find jobs. She opened doors and gave people hope. She taught adults and invited children to play and laugh and let their spirits grow wide. Have I told you that you don't give up? When violence erupted in our nation, a man named Martin Luther King Jr. taught us unyielding compassion. He gave us a dream that all races and creeds would walk hand in hand. He marched and he prayed, and one at a time opened hearts and saw the birth of his dream in us. Have I told you that you are an explorer? A man named Neil Armstrong was the first to walk on the moon. He watched the world from way up high and we watched his lunar landing leaps, which made us brave enough to take our own big, bold strides. Have I told you that you are inspiring? A man named Cesar Chavez showed farm workers their own power when they felt they had none. The people were poor, but worked hard and loved the land. Caesar picketed, prayed, and talked. The people listened to their hearts and marched for their rights. Si se puede, Caesar said. Yes, you can. Have I told you that you are a part of a family? A man named Abraham Lincoln knew that all of America should work together. He kept our nation one and promised freedom to enslaved sisters and brothers. This man of the people, simple and plain, asked more of our country, that we behave as kin. Have I told you to be proud to be American? Our first president, George Washington, believed in liberty and justice for all. His barefoot soldiers crossed wintry rivers, forging ever on. He helped make an idea into a new country, strong and true, a country of principles, a country of citizens. Have I told you that America is made up of people of every kind? People of all races, religions, and beliefs. People from the coastlines and the mountains. People who have made bright lights shine by sharing their unique gifts and giving us the courage to lift one another up, to keep up the fight, to work and build upon all that is good in our nation. Have I told you that they are all a part of you? Have I told you that you are one of them and that you are the future? And have I told you that I love you? I hope you guys enjoyed our book. Now we're going to move right on to our positive action. Our positive action or positive tips typically focus on self-improvement, right? We talk a lot about becoming the best person we can be. We're always striving to become better, to hold ourselves more accountable. Now, we've really covered some important topics, such as empathy, respect, self-respect, becoming more self-aware. We have really dove into what it takes to reach our goals and holding ourselves more accountable as we grow. So, what is it all about? What am I talking about today? You say, Emma, we've talked about these things. You're right. I'm reminding you about them so that we can use them in today's exercise. So, what I challenge you guys to do today is set 3 goals. Just three. They can be personal, they can be academic, they could be athletic. It's all up to you. But I would really like you guys to set some achievable goals that you can do while you're existing here. What I mean by achievable goals is goals like, I want to become the next president of the moon, or I want to solve world hunger are great goals. They're awesome. But if we don't achieve them quickly, or honestly, president of the moon, ever, then we become very disappointed in ourselves. It's important that we set realistic goals so that we don't beat ourselves up, because small incremental change that we make is important. It's important. So keep putting in the work. I promise it all adds up. And now that we have talked about our challenge for today, remember, 3 goals. Let's move on to our book, Super Fudge. If you guys remember, we will be reading our second book today, our book, Super Fudge. Now, if you've been following along with us and reading along with us every day, you know that Peter and his best friend Jimmy Fargo have made up. They had a big fight. They've moved past it. They're good. They've decided they can visit each other even though Peter is moving all the way to New Jersey. Now, his friend, Sheila, was really rude, and Peter told his dog to sick her. Now, I know that sounds bad. I know it sounds bad, but all Turtle did, Peter's dog, was try and lick her face and be kind and be a silly little puppy. So nothing bad really happened, but it shook Sheila up. Now we're gonna see what happens. What is next in our story? I think they're gonna move, but I could be wrong. Let's see. On the morning of the move, Mom woke me up at 6 o'clock. I still had to pack my carton of special things, but first I wanted some juice. I'm always thirsty first thing in the morning. On my way to the kitchen, I passed Tootsie's crib. She was watching her mobile and gurgling away. She was also covered in trading stamps. They were stuck on her arms, her legs, her belly, and her face. Oh my goodness. She even had one on the top of her head and one pasted to the bottom of each foot. Hey, Mom, I called. What is it? It's Tootsie. But I didn't wait for her to finish. Hurry up, Mom, I called. Mom raced in, buttoning up her shirt. Oh no, she said when she saw Tootsie. Then she shouted, Fudge! Hello, Mommy, Fudge said, crawling out from under Tootsie's crib. He was wearing his disguise, black eyeglass frames attached to a rubber nose with a stick-on beard and mustache. He'd sent away for it months ago. It cost several cereal box tops plus 25 cents. Did you do that to Tootsie? Yes, Mommy. He was using his best little boy in the world voice. Why? Mom asked. Tootsie told me to. He climbed up the side of her crib and reached in, shaking Tootsie a little. Didn't you tell me to? Good girl, good little baby. Tootsie said, ah, and she kicked her legs up in the air. That was very naughty, Mom told Fudge, and I'm very angry at you. Fudge kissed my mom's hand. I love you, Mommy. That's not going to work today, Mom told him. I love you anyway, he said, kissing her other hand. You're the best mommy in the whole world. Don't you love your little boy? Yes, I love you, she said, but I am still very angry at you. Very, she said, and smacked Fudge on his backside. He pouted for a minute, about to cry, and then changed his mind. Didn't hurt, he said. You want one that'll hurt? Mom asked. No! Then don't you ever try anything like that again. Do you understand? Yes. Hey, Mom, I said. I thought you didn't believe in violence. I don't ordinarily, Mom said, but sometimes I forget. Look, it's okay with me if you want to spank Fudge, I said. Personally, I think a spanking a day would be good for him. No, 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 Fudge shouted, holding out his rear end. Why'd you really do it? I asked him. I wanted to trade her for a two-wheeler like yours, he told me. You can't trade her in, Mom said. She's a person. She's not a book of stamps. She looks like a book of stamps, Fudge said. Mom picked up Tootsie. Well, doesn't she? Fudge asked again, and I could tell Mom was trying hard not to laugh. You know something, Fudge? I said. You're off the wall. You are really off the wall. Off the wall, off the wall, he sang, dancing around Mom and Tootsie. Fudgy is off the wall. Tootsie laughed. Either that or she hiccuped. It's hard to tell the difference. I followed Mom into the bathroom where she sat Tootsie in the sink. 2 years of trading stamps. Down the drain, I said. Goodbye, stamps, Fudge called from the doorway. Goodbye, goodbye. I'm not going to save stamps anymore, Mom said. I'm going to find a grocery store that gives away something else. An hour later, Dad came back with a U-Haul, and we loaded it up, and we were on our way. As soon as we were through the Lincoln Tunnel, Fudge started singing, M-A-I-N-E spells Princeton! No, it doesn't, I said. It spells Maine. I know, Fudge said. I'm just making up a song. Maybe you can make it up in your head, Dad suggested, and sing it to us when we get to Princeton. Then it'll be a surprise. A surprise? Fudge said. I like surprises. He was quiet for a minute. Then he said, You know what, Daddy? I'm off the wall. Who told you that? Dad asked. Peter, didn't you? He asked me. Yeah, I said, I sure did. And you sure are. I'm off the wall, Fudge repeated, just like Peter's map of the world. He rested his head against Mom's shoulder, and I could hear him slurping away on his fingers. He was still wearing his disguise. All right, we're going to venture into the first part of Chapter 5. Small ones are sweeter. Our house, that is Millie and George's house, is so old that the bathtub stands off the floor, on legs. And the hot and cold water doesn't come out of the same faucet. So when you're washing your hands, you either freeze them or you burn them. Mom says you're supposed to put the plug in the sink and mix the water around in the basin. But that's a lot of trouble. At least we don't have chamber pots, and the toilets actually flush. Outside, the house is painted yellow and the shutters are white. The windows and doorways are slightly crooked. Dad said that's part of the charm. I know better than to tell him what I think. Inside, the floors are wooden and they creak when you walk across them. Downstairs, there's a living room with a piano, a dining room with a table so big that you have to shout to make yourself heard, a kitchen with pots and pans hanging all over the place, a library where the walls are lined with books, arranged according to color. There's a brown leather section, a green leather section, a red leather section, and a tan leather section. Upstairs, there are 4 bedrooms, all in a row, and everywhere you look, there are fireplaces. There's one in every bedroom. There's one in the living room, and another in the dining room, and still another in the library. There aren't any in the bathrooms or the kitchen. My mother and father call the house fantastic, fabulous, unbelievable. I hear them talking to their friends on the phone, and those are dumb words they use to describe this place. Our neighborhood is a lot like our house. Old. Every house on the block is a lot like this one, with a small front yard and a big backyard. In our backyard, we have George's rose garden and Millie's herb and vegetable garden. The first day we were here, Dad brought back a stack of books with the titles, Know Your Roses, Know Your Herbs, Organic Vegetables in You, and my favorite, The Agony of Beetles in Your Garden. You didn't have to worry about beetles in New York, did you, Dad? I said at dinner. That's enough, Peter, Dad said to me. That's enough, Peter, Fudge repeated. Cut it out, I told him. Cut it out, he told me back. Fudge's new game is repeating everything I say. He's really driving me crazy this time. Please pass the salt, I said to Mom. Please pass the salt, he said, laughing. I pushed back my chair. I can't take it anymore. I mean it. Do something, will you? I begged my parents. But he was already at it. I can't take it anymore. Do something, will you? And he was laughing so hard that he choked. Dad turned him upside down and whacked him on the back. I want you to stop doing that, Fudge, he said. Do you understand? I don't know why my parents are always asking him if he understands. He understands just fine. That has nothing to do with it. Fudge nodded because if you don't stop repeating everything that Peter says, I'm going to do more than just whack your back. Get it? I couldn't help but smile. All right, so we just finished our portion of the book today in Super Fudge. We're in the middle of Chapter 5. I will pick up right where we left off tomorrow. I'm very excited. Now, last but not least, we have to go over our riddle. So who remembers what our riddle was? Our riddle today was, what's something that's always in front of you, but you can never see? I told you it was a bit of a stumper, and I didn't lie. So, if you figured it out, here's the answer. The future! Get it? Because it's always in front of you, but you can't see it. You don't know what's going to happen. That's why it's the future. All right. So I hope you guys enjoyed our video today and our books that we've read, and I will see you tomorrow. Thank you for watching.